Canada.
Put on a suit, drink water, don't drink and drive. Hey, man, call your mother.
It means nothing. It means nothing.
No, they lying to you. It's about the money.
Now you're more fluent.
Good evening, Maple Leaf fans. Welcome back to another post-game edition of the Leafs Unfiltered podcast. Halloween night. Happy Halloween, Caroline.
Happy Halloween, Josh. How was your Halloween night?
You.
What did you get up to?
Oh, it was quite eventful, I would say. We did the trick-or-treating with the kids, put in a good, almost a 2-hour shift, which is an all-time high for our crew. We're usually like maybe hour and a bit, and then it's back home. They already have their loot and candy inventory is looking good, so we're ready to head back home. But yeah, we definitely... We were grinding, put in a good 2 hours, and we got the treat bags all filled up. So the kids were happy, the parents were happy to go home, and and then we come back to a Leaf game, and which we will get into a lot, but exciting night. And for you?
Yeah, I mean, the girls are getting older. The step count goes up a little bit more, motivation to get those bags full. How many full-size bars tonight? Anything?
There were a couple. I wouldn't say a lot. It was definitely your mini size assortment for the most part. A lot of like the gummies, the sour candy. That was kind of a lot of it. But
that's the favorite.
Yeah, and then obviously there's the potato chips. You get a lot of that. So I think we got a good variety. I think we've got all the food groups covered. All the snacking food groups, anyways. Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah.
Well, no visitors for me. It's pretty quiet Halloween here, but pretty good Halloween for the Leafs.
Yeah.
Pretty good night.
Nice little dub. Nice dub. 4-1.
Yeah.
2 in a row, which something we haven't been able to say too often this year. But really good win. Kind of like, whole game, I was almost waiting for something to happen where the tide would turn. It was just almost looking like they were too in control, if that's can ever be a concern. But I think when you're a Leaf fan, it always is like, no, this is coming too easy. This isn't a team that does things easy. So
Definitely.
show me how it falls off the rails.
Yeah.
But it didn't happen.
So I was getting into the betting apps at the beginning of the game, like I typically do. I know you have a bit of an inclination to the same. And the over was set at 6.0. And how they show the spread of who's betting over, who's betting under.
Yep.
Everyone was hitting the over. That was the big winner tonight, pre-game. And I was like, I don't know. I threw a little bit on the over. But then the game started out, and it was very low shots early in the game.
Yeah.
And so I kind of sensed, my spidey senses were tingling. I was like, I think this is going to be a little closer, a little bit more of a battle than we think. Anyway, I threw some money on the under 5.5.
So you
hedged. Well, I hedged, but I hedged, I went in the other direction from my initial bet. So I hedged plus. And it came out, I was kind of sweating there at the end when they pulled the goalie with...
5 minutes left.
5.5
That's aggressive. Aggressive.
Super aggressive.
Yeah.
And they scored with 3 minutes to go. And I was like, oh, shit. This might bust my 5.5 under.
Yeah.
But, no, it was... Everything was good. And I did win some big money.
Good show.
I also bet in the first period on Seattle covering the spread, the 1.5 spread, because I did feel like it might have been a close game there. Anyway.
What, 1.5 in the first period? You mean, or the full game 1.5? Talking about the puck line?
Full game 1.5, puck line. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. So that obviously did not cash.
That did not cash. But
yeah. But you won enough on the under.
Yeah, the way I hammered the 5.5 under, I covered all earlier losses, all bets that weren't going to cash. And I I think I told you I was at a friend's house, just having some drinks, and I was like, bam, 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 bam.
Nice. Oh yeah, yeah. If you have like a drink in hand, it's so much easier to just like add legs to a same game
Oh, God.
parlay. You don't even think about it. Yeah, sure. This guy 4+ shots on goal. Yeah, why not?
Oh yeah, John Tavares, easy for. No, I'm just kidding. But anyway,
Yeah. So for me, my bet didn't turn out quite as good. I had a 7-leg same game parlay, as is typical for me.
you love to do that.
Every leg
Yeah.
won. The
What?
one I lost on, I needed Morgan Riley, 1 shot on goal. Didn't do it.
We didn't get
Didn't do
many
it.
power plays.
Well,
Maybe
and our power
that.
play shit. But I mean, I
Oh,
think they only
God.
got 2. So you're right. So that didn't help. I was kind of hoping for maybe more power plays, but he's been kind of averaging like 2.5 shots per game.
Big time.
And the line on that was decent enough as kind of like a little
That's
bit of a
risky.
sweetener.
I will call you out on that. That's like not your average Matthews
No.
2+.
Well, because I
Willie
usually
2+.
do like a 9 or 10 leg parlay.
Yeah, that's right.
So because the total legs is higher, I can afford to go with more safe plays. But I didn't see as many I liked. So I had over 0.5 goals in the first period. I had under 6.5. I had Austin Matthews 2 shots on goal. I had Nylander 1 shot on goal. I had Tavares 1 shot on goal. So I had a
block
Max
shots. You
Pacioretty.
definitely took Tana for some block shots.
No, I didn't actually do block shots. They did it on BetMGM, and they don't do block shots for whatever reason.
I know that about that app. Yeah.
Yeah. But obviously, again, as it does every night, Chris Tanev 2+ block shots is like the most free money out there.
He's got to pump it for his brother tonight too. You know, he's got to show off a little bit.
Yeah. I don't think I saw Chris Tanev at all on the ice, and he's usually a guy who gets kind of physical, or not Chris, Brandon Tanev. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't either.
He wasn't very noticeable.
I looked up what position he played because I didn't see him at all. He was a right winger.
Yeah. And he's actually been a pretty good performer for them. Like, I don't know if he's got that many points, but he's been getting a lot of shots on goal. His line has been pretty good for shot attempts, but didn't do much tonight, but it was a good effort for the home side all around. So let's give them more credit than being critical of Tanev. Yeah.
Tough night for the Kraken. They're missing their 2 big offensive defensemen.
Montour.
Montour, little plug, close family friend. He lived when he was a Florida Panther. His next door neighbor is our best family friend from Muskoka. So this Muskoka family has they snowbird in Florida and Fort Lauderdale on the Intercontinental, and just so happened that Montour and his wife moved in next door, and so they became good friends. Our Muskoka friends and the Montours. And so anytime the Montours come to Muskoka in the summer, either they stay with us or they stay with our Muskoka friends.
Look at you. Look at you.
I was hanging out with Brandon and Ryan this summer. She was very pregnant. They just had a baby girl. And
is that their first or?
No, their second.
The second, okay.
And sort of, I don't know if this is insider info, but the baby was born very early and very, very premature. So it was very, like 4.5 pounds. So I think, maybe had there not been some of this, a little bit of, anxiety around the baby, like maybe he could have made it back to Toronto after the birth, but I don't think the baby's in any bad position or whatever like that. But
good to hear. Yeah.
It just wasn't an expected. They were supposed to have the baby like a month from now. So.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Anyway.
Well, glad to hear everything is working out or seems to be on the right track with the baby. But he's actually had a pretty good start to the year for Seattle. So it for sure helped the Leafs for him not to be in the lineup. That's for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He is a stud out there. I've always liked his game. But
me too. I wanted him as a Leaf. I definitely wanted him as a Leaf.
I know. Well, and it sounded like it was close. I mean, you might even have more of a scoop on that, but it seemed like the Leafs were the other option before he signed with Seattle.
He was hunting the dollar bills, especially
He
coming
wanted
from
more?
He wanted more than the Leafs were offering. I think the Leafs, had it out. I think he would have come to the Leafs if we'd matched what Seattle was going to pay.
Interesting.
He's obviously from Ontario. He loves Muskoka. He spends most of his summer there. But I think Seattle was the better contract for him.
And it's also no state tax, so that helps too. Puts more money in the pocket, bank account.
Totally.
Nice. So how about our boy Joe Wall? He looked all right, I thought. Right?
Yeah, he looked good.
It's
way better than last Thursday night.
For sure. Like, I wouldn't say he had the most difficult night as far as like a lot of shot attempts, a lot of like dangerous shot attempts, but he just looked very solid. Looked very solid in there, confident, positionally very sound. It just goes back to what we were talking about, where it's like, yeah, I'm fine if Stolarz is the number one right now, and I think he deserves to be. But if Wall plays like that, like, it's a good problem to have, where it's like, okay, I don't know which guy to throw out there, but I think both can get the job done. And that's the way I feel about both guys.
Yeah, I was starting to get, like, my senses were tingling. I was like, oh shit, this is kind of like first goalie level play. Especially when he was looking at a shutout for a pretty good part of that game there.
Yeah, they ruined that for him. He couldn't see that one. I think it was Jake McCabe and was it Nyes or Holmberg? I forget who was just screening and not able to block the shot. That definitely should have been a shutty.
Well, I was kind of reading some comments after the game, and people think that they were they were looking to go to Willie for the Hattie, and they weren't being very defensive minded in that moment. We were up 3 goals.
No.
So I don't know. Like, I don't really slight them for that.
No, I think every team does that. If you have only a 1-goal lead, you got to be more careful. Yeah. But when you have a 2-goal lead, especially when when the other team takes their goalie out with 5 minutes left, you probably feel a little bit more confident and willing to feed a guy to get his hat trick. But I mean, he was just fumbling the puck around. He couldn't even get control of the puck to get a decent shot on the empty net. And then, because he couldn't do it, we get the black ball corner pocket shot by Austin Matthews. He was definitely, he called that one. That was really cool.
He's practiced that. Definitely he's practiced that.
Yeah, that's no fluke there.
That was middle of the net. See you later.
If that happened with Holmberg or Kampf or Yarncroke, I'd call there's no way they planned it. There's no way they planned it. But because it was Austin Matthews, definitely planned. Definitely planned.
And I think the guy's a little mad that Willie's creeping ahead of him on the goal line for the Leafs. Marner's leading in points, which is, fair, normal. But I think Matthews is he needs his goals.
Yeah, really well, I mean, he's up to 5 now. He's up to 5 in 11 games. Obviously, well off his usual pace, but he's at a number right now where it's like, hey, Saturday night he gets 2 goals. All of a sudden, we're right back on track. Yeah. So for sure, not too. I thought he was excellent tonight. Talking about Austin Matthews, good 2-way game. I thought he was physical. I thought he was winning puck battles. Playing well defensively. Him and Mitch were good on the PK. I think pretty much everyone was good. Let's maybe focus on the forward.
Before you tell us this, we're going to do our new segment. In time,
right.
Okay, we're still recapping our sort of top line thoughts.
Okay, provide the intro.
Okay.
Or you have a segue first. Go ahead.
Well, I was going to have a segue, but I think I'm gonna park that for a little later. Okay, so introducing our new bit.
I don't think we have any music, so you just got to keep going with the intro. Yeah.
Did the Bruins lose 8-2 today? Was that yesterday?
They sure did. No, they sure did.
Yeah. just
Yeah.
creeping down the Atlantic.
8-2 to Carolina, and the Habs got thumped as well. So the Atlantic Division did not pick up any points other than the blue and
Habs-
white.
I almost am feeling bad for the Habs right now.
Don't.
They are just hot garbage.
Yeah, I think that the Habs are well on track to be mathematically eliminated in November again.
No way. Really?
Well, I think it's almost impossible to be mathematically eliminated in November, but as close to it as you can, the Habs will probably be there.
Remember last November, people were saying that about the Oilers, and look how they did last year.
For sure.
Anyway, introducing our new segment, we're gonna do a bit where you and I tell everyone who we think deserves the belt from the night and who deserves the bus to the next game, which is in St. Louis.
Okay, I like that. Yeah.
St. Louis. Where is St. Louis?
That's a long bus ride.
Is that Columbus?
No, it's in Missouri. It's in Missouri.
Oh, Missouri. Okay, that's pretty long.
That's a long bus ride. I don't think we should do that to anyone who's making NHL coin. I don't think that would work out well. I think
Like
they
48
demand
hours.
trade.
It's like 48 hours. They could
Would it
make
be
it.
that much? No way.
Well-
would it be that long?
No. I'm saying we have 48 hours till our next
Oh,
game.
I thought that's a 48-hour bus ride. I'm like, I don't know if anywhere in the U.S. would be 48 hours unless you're like stopping to grab like 5 meals and maybe doing an overnight.
Nowhere is 48 hours.
No, can't be.
Okay.
Okay.
So
do
yeah.
you want to kick things off then?
Yeah, like
It's your
I don't
segment.
think I haven't been looking at Instagram. I haven't been watching the broadcast. I don't know who got the Leafs belt tonight. They award the belt.
Me neither.
Is it just hometown wins when the Leafs give out the belt, or is it?
No, I think it's
wins?
both. I think it's any
Yeah,
win.
I think
Yeah.
you're right too.
Yep.
Okay, so you want me to think who gets the belt?
Yeah.
I think I
why
know.
don't you- yeah. I think
Well-
it's probably an obvious one, but go for it.
Yeah, me too. The problem with you letting me go first is that you can't take my answer. But I am going to go first.
I don't know if I read that in the fine print, but okay, I'll play along. Fair
I
enough.
set the rules.
Okay.
Yeah, William Nylander for the belt.
Yeah, that would have been mine. I will go with what's that?
See what I did there?
Oh yeah, I was pretty cool what he was doing. I don't know, was that like? I think the commentators were doing like, was he silencing the critics? Is that what he was doing? I don't know what
did
that
you not
was.
watch the intermission? The TSN
No.
panel, Drager got a text from his son, Mason Drager, who said that people do that because they were like, because he's gotten 2 easy passes down low, empty net, and it's just like so easy. And
Yeah.
that's what the text read basically. Drager read out the whole thing. And then they're like, ooh, new insider, Mason Drager.
Wait,
Anyway.
but that's the reason he did that?
I think because it was just so like it didn't take a lot of work. I don't know. Maybe if people in the
Okay.
comments can chime in.
Yeah.
What,
I would have thought
they
it was
thought
a
it was-
silencing of the critics, but okay. Yeah.
No, I don't. It wasn't. That wasn't the answer the panel provided. They thought maybe it was like a nod to Dr. Evil, but yeah.
Oh, okay.
Mm,
There's an extra layer that I wouldn't have even thought to Mr. Nylander. Okay.
Okay, so who gets your belt?
I would go with John Tavares. Obviously, yeah. If I was going first, I would give it to Nylander as well. But I thought Tavares was phenomenal. Phenomenal.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, he was so good. He was so engaged, involved, and was winning puck battles. He was huge on both of the goals there. I thought he had an excellent game.
You know what they said?
64% face-offs, +2, 2 helpers on the night. I thought he was really good.
Nice.
Yeah.
They did mention on the broadcast, they think that his illness that had taken him out of the lineup for a couple games, that he might have like understated how badly he was doing, and that may have actually affected him before he sat out of the lineup. And now that he's back to full speed and he's feeling good, he's playing like the way he should be playing. So not the way he should be playing, but he's back to full health. And so that
I
discrepancy.
think that was definitely a
between-
factor.
Yeah. So nice to see him really performing this game and last game with the hat trick.
Yeah, he's on fire.
Yeah, in the good column, I don't know what you think about this, but I thought Mitch played super well tonight too.
He was pretty good. He was pretty good for me. Like, I thought that first line was really good. So I thought all of them, Nyes included and Matthews, I thought all of them were good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Mitch was a little bit more, or maybe less of a, in terms of like turnovers. I didn't see as many of those. He kind of went into a couple board battles and was kind of, competing a little bit harder for pucks than he normally does. So, yeah, I definitely agree. I thought he was pretty good tonight.
He had like a pretty excellent block shot too.
He did have a good block shot.
He did have a good
block shot.
Yeah, that was big.
That's the Berube effect. Berube's telling them, and you could even, there was also a Nylander shift where he just basically got bumped off the puck, and I think Seattle had a 2-on-1 the other way, and they just showed a quick clip of Berube just reaming Nylander out for it. So
tonight,
I like it. Yeah.
Oh wow, Berube's got Nylander in his kind of like bad books.
Well, I mean, I don't know if you saw the quote from him today. Yeah, like the fact that he's like, because I guess Nylander told the media that he would like to get more ice time. He likes playing on the PK, all that stuff. And Berube basically responded like, yeah, we talked about that too. I'd like to give him more ice time if deserved. Yep. So yeah, I think that's pretty pretty clear in terms of Berube's approach and what he sees from Nylander, and it being, I don't know if it's like vastly different from Keefe. I think Sheldon Keefe had his own issues with Nylander, and probably for very similar reasons. I know Nylander needs to be out on the ice because he's our most dangerous forward, but he's also almost equally as likely to help put pucks in our own net with his turnovers and lack of back checking and puck battle competing. So I think Berube is like recognized it very early on. Not that it's very difficult to tell. If you watch the games, you see, at least a couple shifts a game, it's like Nylander just dogging it. But on a night like tonight where he gets 2 goals, I think a lot of fans ignore that, and that's fair. Guy gets 2 goals a night, you can live with all the bad from that night typically. But Berube does not seem as willing to do that. He's going to make sure, like, hey, if you're not giving 110% every time you're out there, I'm not going to let you get your cookies on power play 1, So I love it. I love it.
Yeah. No, 2 things to say from that. I was surprised that Nylander released that statement. Like, it's kind of goading Berube to say something back.
Totally.
It's a little tongue in cheek. It's a little bit like, he's got the 7-year contract still, 7 years more on the contract. Like, what are you going to do? You're not going to take away all of his ice time. The only place he can go from limited ice time is back to normal or more ice time. Like, they're not going to bench one of our second most highest paid player.
No, you don't have enough depth to not play him a lot anyways. Yeah.
I don't know if you've been listening to some of the hockey podcasts this week, like Kipper and Bourne, Leafs Talk. One of the big points they're driving home right now is how the power balance has shifted a little bit from coaches to players, where these star players that are fan favorites, they've got no move clauses, they're signed for 7-8 years. They have started to hold a little bit more power in their ice time, their treatment, where they're playing, whether it's PK, PP, what line they're on, and whether or not that's the way it should be. It's certainly what we're seeing, and that was Nylander sort of flexing that muscle. And
probably it's definitely easier to fire a coach than it is to get rid of a player who's got an 8-year contract, right?
That's argument number 1. Yeah. My second thing is that I saw Nylander this morning in Toronto.
Out dog walking. Game day dog walk.
I think he does this same loop every day. He lives in Yorkville, so he walks like, I don't know what the route he takes, but he goes like up Bay, or he cuts over to Yonge Street.
Well, I hope you don't know the exact route he takes, or else, we might get a little bit worried about you, stalker.
Well, I know exactly. I know where his condo is. I know what unit number it is. He lives right under my grandmother.
Okay.
So if
Okay.
I wanted to stalk him, I could, but I don't.
Yeah, that's good to know. That's good to know, but you don't. Okay. Clarified.
Anyway,
Okay.
but I think I've said this in the pod before, is that the they have a doggy door in my grandmother's condo, and
Yeah.
he doesn't use it. He uses the front door, exits right onto the, I won't say
Sounds
the
about right.
street. And he kind of has no, he doesn't apologize for it. But the
Rules
cool
do
thing
not
is,
apply to Willie Styles. Rules do not apply.
yeah.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, he doesn't use a collar or leashes for his dogs. They're walking straight
Wow.
up Young Street. The doodles are fully, unhinged, unleashed, just doing their thing.
I wonder if he's ever gotten some fines from maybe the city animal patrol team. Probably if he did, I'm sure he wouldn't really care. He'd probably just send the ticket into Braintree Living or Shanny, being like, yeah, you take care of this one. Thank you.
Well, I have
pretty cool though.
I have gotten a dog ticket at the park that he goes to, Ramsden Park, which is just west of Rosedale Station. And yeah, I think if you hang out there around like noon, 1 on a game day, pretty good shot you'll see Willie.
It's a little bit too far for me to go with my dog, but it's a little bit. That would be a little bit too far. That would be a drive, and it would be a pretty good trek. Probably not worth it, even though it would be cool to see William Nylander in his element. But I think my days of getting excited about seeing hockey players and going up to talk to them, I wouldn't care. Yeah.
I know. I didn't know what to do.
It'd be like, cool, he's there, but I'm not going to talk to him. Yeah.
No, I didn't. I don't know. Anyway, back to our bit. So we do the who gets the belt, who gets the bus. So who's taking the bus to St. Louis for you? I'll let you go first.
Yeah, I'm actually glad you let me tee this one up, because mine is probably an obvious one to people who may watch the lives that I do on TikTok or even follow here. I am giving it to Nicholas Robertson. Absolute cardio merchant again.
What does that mean, cardio merchant?
Like all he's doing out there is like he's getting a cardio workout. Yeah. Like did nothing out there. I think he had one shot on goal, and I'm sure there's going to be people who are like, oh, but he really worked hard out there. He was competing. He almost made a good pass. He almost got a good shot attempt. I'm done with the almost with Nick Robertson. Done with it. And we'll get to it in a bit, because we've got to talk about the big trade that happened yesterday. Finally, after we've been talking about. Well, I wouldn't give me credit, because I was calling for that like July 2nd. I'm like, a trade's going to happen any day.
No, but we did a podcast Monday night, and you said there's going to be a big trade. There's going to be a trade this week. And
fair.
That happens.
You're right.
Yep.
I will take credit. Thank you. You're right. I did say that. Yep.
Yeah.
So we're cover that trade and kind of break that one down in a bit. But like for me, it's like it kind of the same thing. Like Timothy Liljegren, Nick Robertson. There's so many Leaf fans who keep going on and on about their potential. If the Leafs trade them, one or both, they are going to regret it. And like with Nick Robertson, it's like, guys, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Like if you're worried about what he could be if he goes to San Jose to join Timothy Liljegren, like if you're worried
by
about
the way that he went to San Jose, I was like, of course, he went to San Jose.
Well, and we're get to it in a bit, because I've got a funny thing that I was kind of hearing from one of the TSN reporters about the interest in Liljegren.
Go into it. I don't have a good bus, so go ahead. Tell us about the trade. No,
you can't bring out a new bid and say you're going to pass the first night that we're doing it.
I know.
That's not fair.
I don't have a great answer. I didn't really actually zone in on this.
Okay, do you agree with Nick then?
Well, I was gonna say Nick, so you took my answer, and now I'm like, okay, who am I gonna throw under the bus randomly?
Okay, so we can allow you off the hook for tonight, because you're at least say that I would have said the same guy, which I think is I think that's the obvious. I think you could also make a case for Camp.
Holmberg. Camp, I don't
Holmberg wasn't bad.
I don't dislike
Holmberg was
Camp
better
as much.
tonight.
I don't dislike Camp as much as you do because he's a sleeper. Like I prefer him when we're getting out of his zone. I prefer him. I think he's stronger on the puck than a Holmberg, than a Benoit. I think if he's clearing the zone, he's taking it up ice. He's a strong dude. I don't see him getting picked as much as some of the other guys. I think he knows that if he does make a big mistake, like he is getting scratched. And so I see him playing very safely. And I thought he played fine tonight. He to me doesn't.
I mean, it was not his worst game.
He doesn't add anything, but he doesn't subtract anything.
Okay. So he's a neutralizer. He's a $2.4 million neutralizer.
Yeah, but that money aside, that doesn't have to play into our bus rides. I just to be like, I think I said this. When the fourth line gets on the ice, that's when I go make dinner. That's when I go grab like a bubbly. Like I just don't like watching them. They're so boring, and nothing happens.
I thought with Holmberg, like Holmberg over Reeves, like Lorenz, Camp, and Holmberg, I thought that fourth line looked good. It was more the third line I had an issue with. The McMahon, Domi, Nick Robertson.
Yeah, McMahon did nothing tonight too. Actually,
didn't do anything. I thought Domi kind of looked a little bit. He looked okay on the power play, but that line 5-on-5 was not good at all.
Okay,
not good.
I agree. I also am sort of upset with Domi in the last couple games. He's just a non. He can't. He's getting some looks. He's in the play, but he's not.
He needs to play with great players. You can't play him with McMahon, Holmberg, Nick Robertson. You won't get anything out of him, and he's a liability defensively.
I wonder. Yeah, like I do wonder what it would look like if we put Nyes on 2 or 3 and we put Domi on 1.
Like Domi, Marner, Matthews?
Yeah.
I think you need Nyes there. I think if you have Domi and Marner, it's two soft guys who ain't winning any puck battles.
So you would
the worst English ever, but two guys who are not winning any puck battles is the better way to word it.
Well, last playoffs, they looked pretty good. Right? Domi was in there for. Oh, he's in there for.
Well, but they had Bertuzzi there. They had Bertuzzi with Domi and Matthews. Yeah. So you had that kind of physical presence. If you have Marner and Domi, you're basically just telling Austin Matthews, okay, you're going to have to go and get the puck for yourself, and then you're going to have to pass it to yourself and score the goal. Yeah. Okay, I don't see that working. But anyway, we're just going to catch up with some comments here. Kyle's kind of chiming in here. Do we think it's possible for Nyes to score 30? I do. If you would have asked me that at the beginning of the year, I would have said no. But he's now, did he get his 5th or 6th goal tonight?
I want to say 5. I think they would have, I don't know. I think it's 5. I think they would have made a point.
No, it is number 6. Half a dozen. Oh half a dozen for Nyes.
Wow. So he's
I'd say No, Austin Matthews only has 5.
You got one tonight. That brings him to 5?
Yeah, it brings him to 5. Yeah, he's got 5 goals, 5 helpers. Nylander has 8. Nyes has 6.
Wow.
Yeah, so I would say possibly 30. I mean, as long as he remains on that line, I could definitely see it. I think if they kind of keep dividing up the power play in terms of not like overloading power play 1, I think that will give a Nyes a good chance to play with some good players on the power play. If the power play ever scores a goal, which right now it probably isn't looking likely, but I would say he could. And Jordan on Woll, I thought Woll was very good. He didn't have a lot of shots we were talking about at the top of the show, but I thought he looked very solid, very confident.
Yeah, me too.
OEL looked good. I agree. I thought OEL was very good. I thought the OEL-Riley pair actually looked quite good. And I think McCabe and Tanev looked good. I think those are the 2 pairs they've got to run with for a while now.
Me too. Yeah, OEL got some good looks. He's always looks good on the puck. He's offensive.
3 shots on net tonight, I think.
Yeah, I was gonna say I was looking at his shot totals earlier in the game, and he had 2. So
He was the guy I
definitely
needed to add to my same game parlay for shots on goal, but I
always,
chose
yeah.
Riley. I chose Riley.
Wait, you chose Riley over OEL for about the same returns? I would never do that.
Unless OEL was not on there. I don't think OEL was available.
Okay,
It's like on BetMGM, they don't have the same
it's bad for parlays. I
options.
don't.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
I probably should have never used BetMGM for those like big leg or multi-leg same game parlays because
Yeah.
Bet365, they pretty
Much better.
much got the entire team available to you. So
Mhm.
easier to find like a 10-leg parlay that you feel good about.
But for our listeners, Josh and I like BetMGM because the promotions are better. They give you
Promos are good.
Yeah, they give you they'll throw you like a 20% odds boost almost every day.
Yeah, that's always there.
A lot of bonus bets, 50%
Yep.
odds boost from time to time. When you have a big loss, I always come out of that loss with like a $25 bonus bet. So they really want you back, and they say they're the odds book. They're the sports betting book cooked up in Vegas. So Vegas knows how to treat their customers, and
They sure do.
yeah.
They sure do.
Yeah.
But I mean, we are in no way promoting gambling.
Oh, I
Nor
know I am sort of.
Oh, you are. Oh, you are. You are. Yeah, I think it's hard for us to not admit to doing a little bit of betting promotion. Yeah.
Definitely, support my income with some betting wins.
Yeah, you have to. It always makes watching a game a lot more entertaining when you've got some money riding on it. But so let's kind of maybe turn the focus over to the trade. So obviously, pretty big trade. Leafs trading Timothy Liljegren to San Jose for a 3rd-round pick, a 6th-round pick, and Matt Benning. Clears some cap room, about 1.75. The difference between Liljegren and Benning gives them draft picks, which they really didn't have much go before that trade. So I want to hear your thoughts. But for me, love the trade. Love the trade. And I get people will be like, oh, he's a former 1st-round pick and a lot of talent, a lot of upside. They only got a 3rd-round pick and maybe a 7th or 8th defenseman back. Like, that doesn't seem good. But before I let you chime in with your opinion, the thing that I was alluding to earlier, where I think it was Chris Johnston, TSN reporter, he was saying that the market was so dry for the player, for Timothy Liljegren, that San Jose was essentially the only team that came forward with a even decent offer, obviously the one that they took, that they were ready to move on right now. And because of obviously the cap situation, potential for Hakanpää, Dewar, Yarncroke to be eligible and maybe able to come off of LTIR soon, Tree Living didn't have the benefit of time to wait for maybe some of these teams to show more interest. So it was just kind of like an eye-opener, and I think like reaffirmed my belief that Timothy Liljegren didn't have a good market. Like I kind of was always under that thought process.
I'm going to kind of call that not what you're saying out, but what Chris Johnson's saying out. We could always keep Hakanpää on LTIR, and we could wait. Like, if it's going to mean the difference between a 3rd and a 2nd-round pick as a return for Liljegren, I think that a couple more games could have been okay. I just think that he has
if you're going to get that 2nd-round pick in a week,
Well, I don't think that. I think he's been shopped since
they signed him, probably.
No kidding. I was going to say, preseason, early season when they decided to sit him. I just think the market has been dry. It's going to continue to be dry.
Yeah.
And I don't think that the whole pushing because our guys are almost ready to pop, like they're coming back. Hakanpää, I don't think he can play Saturday night, but he could play Sunday. There's like something
I think he's eligible now. I think after this game tonight. Yeah. I think him and Dewar are eligible. It doesn't mean they will, but I think they are officially eligible.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I don't think we're going to be playing with like 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 games. I don't think we're so set on these next few games, if that is going to mean a bigger return for a Liljegren, who like is a pretty he takes up a lot of he took up a lot of cap space. I don't
Yep.
know. I don't really think they're like, okay, gun against Trilliving's head. These guys are coming back to the roster. I don't buy that. I
Okay.
think he just took the best offer in a dry market that he could get. And
Could be. Yep.
not
Could be.
shocked that it's from the San Jose Sharks, who
Don't really know what they're doing over there. They've taken on a lot of, maybe not bad contracts, but like they've taken on some contracts that those previous clubs obviously wanted to get rid of.
Yeah.
Like,
Daniel's saying that so Hakanpää's going to the Marlies, which would that mean
Conditioning
that
stint.
conditioning stint? So he's I guess I actually did read that. I should have remembered that. Does
Yeah.
that mean like if there's LTIR limitations for him returning to the Leafs, does that also apply to the Marlies? Is it like an absolute block, or are the Leafs and the Marlies different?
I don't know. I think if he's doing a conditioning stint, I assume they have to take him off LTIR, but I'm not sure how that works. Like if they're sending him down to the Marlies, like I think it's obviously different than like he wouldn't have to clear waivers.
No,
It's not the same as like just moving the guy down for performance. Yeah.
Conditioning. There's something in that conditioning.
Yeah. So I don't know if he still like remains on LTIR while he's doing that, because I don't think he wouldn't be on the Leafs active payroll, which is obviously the most important element. While he's down with the Marlies, his cap hit wouldn't affect the Leafs cap.
Yeah. Anyway, I know that he skated this morning, Hakanpää, so it's getting pretty exciting that he's so close. And you could be very well right, because the timing is coincidental that this is when he moves. Perhaps that trade, the offer from San Jose Sharks had come in weeks, months ago. Trilliving had that in pocket. He's trying to look elsewhere,
shopping
see if
it
he can get
around.
anything else. And then he's like, okay, our boys back. Like we're pushing cap, and that's when the movement.
Yeah. When I was bringing it up, I was on doing my live last night, and I brought it up, like just like the math. So Timothy Liljegren, obviously $3 million out, and then they took back Matt Benning, who's at 1.25. So that's essentially 1.7 of cap space freed. Oh, guess who makes around 1.7? Yanni Hakanpää. Yanni Hakanpää.
I was gonna say Dunkirk's way more expensive than that.
No, but he's 1.65, so you could easily say D-man Timothy Liljegren out to bring Hakanpää in. I'm not saying that's why they made the deal, but the math would make sense.
I think they pulled the trigger on that deal. I don't think it was like it just came through from the Sharks. I think they were looking for something.
No, but I think the timing. The timing, right? Because maybe to your point, the deal was offered 2 weeks ago. But I think we're both on the same page. Trilliving maybe said, I don't know, is that the best I could do? Let me shop it around. But San Jose was probably the only one who held firm on, hey, if you guys are willing to do this deal, I'm good. From San Jose's perspective. And Trilliving's like, well, Hakanpää can come out now, so let's do it. Yeah.
Yeah, like that, to be honest, Josh, that should quiet all of the people that don't like the Liljegren deal. Like the fact that this is the return we got after probably weeks, nearly a month of knowing he was on the chopping block. He was up in the press box making millions. Like, if that's the best we can do, a third round, a 1 point, like a guy it's like an AHL borderline NHL player. I think we know, like, that's where that's what he's worth. And so
he ain't him. Yeah. I think for me, the one kind of criticism I have, like I think Trilliving did well on the return, or at least well enough, but it's very poor asset management. Like, I get it, maybe because you signed him before you knew, Berube was going to not really be feeling Timothy Liljegren as far as potential to be in his lineup, but signing him to a 2-year, $3 million per year deal, and then not having him play So not
Yeah.
even being able to showcase him to maybe get a better offer and then having to take a third round pick and some change. Yeah, asset management, not great, but I mean, that just feels like almost, complaining just to complain. They got rid of money. They got a draft pick back. Clearly, it wasn't going to work out. It's unfortunate that they signed him to that deal, and then he never really even provided anything near that
It's
kind of value.
diabolically terrible management that they signed with that deal and then brought in a new coach who was like,
Yeah.
no, it's actually really bad. Thank God we didn't have to retain any of his salary. I think that, was a definitely condition
Well,
of
I
the
would
deal.
say bringing back Matt Benning is basically retaining salary. Like, I'm sure San Jose was like, yeah, we're not going to eat the full contract of Timothy Liljegren. And Tree Living's like, well, we're not retaining anything. And then San Jose's like, okay, but we can't absorb his $3 million without giving something else up. So take Matt Benning, who will never play a game for you.
I know, like Matt Benning, if you look at his comparables in the NHL, his contract is very bad. Like, I mean, he's expensive for what we're going to get from him. He is not.
I mean, it's 1.25. You can bury
we're
it.
paying We're paying like $850,000 for Pacioretty. We're paying $850,000 for Lorentz.
Well, we're going to end up paying more for Max at the rate he's going right now. He looks like a stud, so he's going to, I think, with his games played bonuses,
the bonus,
he'll be over 1.1 or 1.2. But yeah, I mean, if he keeps playing the way he is, you're definitely okay with that.
That's fine. Yeah, we pay him.
Yeah.
He deserves it.
Yeah, no, he's been very good. He's been very good. But yeah, I think there's still one more trade that has to happen. Like, I think cap-wise, they are now okay after that trade, so they can bring in Hakanpää, or if it's Dewar who's available earlier or ready earlier, they can do it. It's just the amount of players they still have on the team. They have to move a body or two. And I think 89. I don't think he has many. I don't know. Like, I mean, if he might have nine lives. He might be kind of cat-like in that regard, where he keeps finding a way to remain here, even though he probably should have been gone a year or 2 years ago. But
to be honest, I was surprised he got the start tonight.
I kind of was too. Well, because in the practice yesterday, he was like not in the lineup. Like, for their lines that they rolled out in practice, he was not there. Like, Ryan Reeves was on the fourth line. Dewar and Nick Robertson skated as the extras. So I don't know what changed. Maybe there was a scout for some other NHL team who said, hey, I might be willing to do this deal for Nick Robertson, but I'd like to see him play. I would have to think that scout probably left Scotiabank Arena not very impressed.
Hey, Scout, we've got like tape of 5 or 6 preseason games. Are you interested?
Yeah. I don't know if you saw, but he scored 2 goals against the Montreal Canadiens in a preseason game. Do you want to see that tape, and then we can get this trade done?
I think he scored. Yeah, okay, yeah, you're right. He didn't get like a hat trick, but
no, he had 5 goals in the preseason.
Goals. Yeah,
and that led Leaf fans to think he was going to get 40.
Yes,
this year. Yeah. Oh boy. So yeah, I think something's coming, but it'll be interesting to see what happens Saturday. I guess 2 things that I think will be intriguing in Leafland. One is there going to be St. Louis Saturday, but I think, will there be any other roster movement? Like, if Hakanpää or Dewar's available, are they moving someone? Are they waiving someone? But then also in terms of who gets the net. You probably would have said Stolarz tonight, though.
Well, I don't think I knew. I guess Wall was always available. No, I don't think you do that to Stolarz, who's been hot. He got the win against
But they have a back-to-back. They have a back-to-back this
right.
weekend.
So wait,
so
we've got
that's why it is
St.
a decision.
Louis and then Minnesota. Who's the better team of the two? Put Stolarz in against the better team.
The Wild.
Ooh.
But now you're going with Wall back-to-back. So,
there's a day off. Interesting. No, that's a good question.
Right? But if Stolarz is your guy, your number one, not playing him tonight and Saturday, that would raise some questions. And like,
No,
I'm not trying
I
to
think
make
it's-
more of a big deal about it because I think they're both good and they're both going to play.
Yeah.
But your number one probably wouldn't sit out 2 games in a row.
Really? 1A, 1B.
Usually not.
1A, 1B?
Well, if it's a true 1A, 1B, I mean, I think you would still kind of give them. But I think most fans and I think most like beat writers have already anointed Stolarz as the number one. It's not just a 1A, 1B in their mind.
They didn't see him tonight. That was his second game, Josh. He's only played 2 games. He's only played 120 minutes. And his first game was super shaky, but so was Stolarz. I mean,
Stolarz was not
he
good
lost
against
to the
Winnipeg.
Canadiens. No, he was not good against Winnipeg. You're right.
No, but I mean, he was okay against the Habs. I mean, that was like
You're right.
one
That was
game where we couldn't get any goals. We lost
wrong.
1-0. We lost 1-0.
I was wrong. You're totally right. I guess you're right. Like, it's going to be telling to see what they do, but I think it's just going to depend. It's just either Wool is Saturday or Wool is Sunday. What's the big diff? Like, does it? Why should it be a
I mean,
difference?
I get that. I'm just talking about like what kind of like, you know, if it is Wall announced for Saturday, does everyone all of a sudden be like, whoa? So maybe Stolarz it's not his net and it is back to being a tandem or it is back to a 1A, 1B. Like
When do we play next week? Tuesday or Wednesday?
Let's see here.
Oh, Tuesday against the Bruins. So that's important information.
That's right. The Bruins are in town.
So you know what? Stolarz is going to play that game because he's our 1A. It's going to be Stolarz Saturday night, Wall Sunday night, Stolarz Tuesday night.
Yeah, I think that's probably what they would do. I could see that being exactly the way it plays out. The only wrinkle into that plan might be that Joe Wall is from St. Louis.
But remember, Joe Wall got lit up by St. Louis last Thursday night.
But now he's actually going home. It's not just playing his home team in Toronto.
But remember,
he's going to have his family there. Caroline, his family's already bought tickets to watch him play.
Wow, I feel like that girl in the that meme with the girl that's like looking at the Pythagorean theorem and like she's very confused, the blonde woman. You know that meme?
No idea.
Okay, you'd know the meme if I showed you.
Okay.
Anyway, there's so much.
Yeah.
There's so much going on. I think that what I said is right. I think that Stolarz Saturday's the marquee game. I don't think we can care so much about their hometown. So sorry, guys. You can't play in front of your hometown crowd. I don't care, to be honest. I just don't. And they did that to Stolarz already when they didn't play him in Jersey and they put Hildeby in.
Well, I think what's going to also be important for Berube is that's revenge night again for Berube, and more so because he's going back to that barn, right?
Right.
So he's gonna probably play whoever he thinks gives him better chance to win. I agree. Right now, he might have an edge to Stolarz, but yeah, I think there's a lot of other elements like talking about Wall going back home. If Minnesota is the better team, which they are right now, would it make sense to have Stolarz if he's your, guy that you think is a little bit better or you hold him in higher regard? So I think a long-winded way of saying we got absolutely no effing clue who's going to play Saturday and who's going to play Sunday, but it will definitely be intriguing discussion and reveal when it does happen.
Yeah, no, it will be. Are you going to the game on Tuesday?
No, I already sold that one. Yeah, the Bruins tickets were like the first ones that I sold. It was
not the Connor McDavid Oilers tickets that are now.
I haven't offered those up, but I might now. I might now.
Really quickly because he's not.
I think I should. I know. I know.
Sucks.
Well,
like
what I said, 2 or 3 weeks, and that game is November 16th.
Yeah, but it's a high ankle sprain, and doctors are saying it's 4 weeks minimum.
Is that? Oh, I hadn't heard that. Okay, 4 weeks now, minimum.
Yeah, my stepdad's like, he's not back. He's not back until December.
Ooh.
They're obviously going to put out in
Goodbye,
the media a conservative, call on when he'll return. They don't want to be like, also they don't want to scare the players. They don't want to like get them in a slump. But my family sort of has season tickets in the lottery. That game was the number one game to go. Of course, I
Oh, for
put all my
sure.
chips down for that silly game, and now I'm like I'll be looking at Draisaitl and Bouchard the whole game, be like, ugh.
Yeah. Actually, I'm looking at like the Oilers won 5-1 tonight, so maybe they don't need McDavid. Zach Hyman
Good.
finally got his first goal of the year.
Oh my
Wait.
god.
Great job,
His
Zach.
first goal? That's brutal.
Yeah, I don't think he's getting 50 again.
Nope.
Yeah. So I mean, that's going to be a tough 3 and 4 nights, like back to back on the road in St. Louis, in Mini, and then
No
home
kidding.
to the Bruins. That's really tough.
Yeah, I think we get 2 losses, 1 win. No idea where the win's going to come from, but it's not going to come from Boston.
Yeah, I was just about to add that. I'm like, I think you know where it won't come from.
Yeah.
It would be nice if we do get. I mean, the Bruins lost again tonight. They don't look very good, but I
They
think
lost 8-2, right?
8-2, 8-2 to Carolina. But it just feels like no matter what ails the Bruins, playing
They're there.
the Maple
They
Leafs,
show up.
that's a guaranteed win for them. But
I know.
hopefully we can change that narrative and obvious unfortunate record against them. What else we got? Anything else that we didn't cover? Game related, team related? That's probably about it, eh?
I don't know. Like, obviously, I was expecting kind of a slump after that big win against Winnipeg. We love to sort of do the roller coaster.
It's a very leafy
And
thing. Yep.
yeah, no, we didn't show any signs of that. We came out pretty strong, won the game. We need to get the momentum going though. We need to like be able to harness momentum and then keep it going.
Mhm.
And so it'll be really interesting to see what we can do on Saturday night. I'm not so worried about the Sunday night. I think Sunday, if we can win Saturday, I'm okay with dropping Sunday night. Back-to-backs are tough as they are.
Yep.
And
Yep.
we're on the road. We're going to be traveling we're in Minnesota on Sunday.
Yeah,
Then
I
we're
mean,
back
it
to
isn't a
Toronto.
very difficult travel. Like I
Good.
get it, still back to back. Probably get into the hotel and Mini late. So obviously, there's always those
Yeah.
built-in excuses as to why you don't show up in the second half of a back-to-back. But yeah, it's very light travel. Hopefully, they can at least. They need to get at least 2. I think that goes without saying. 2 of the weekend, 2 points out of the weekend.
Yeah, me too. Because
And
they're
then
yeah.
take your chances against the Bruins on Tuesday, I suppose.
Yeah, but I think the leafiest thing that we do is that we were able to beat a good team, and then we lose to games we should win.
Always.
And so
Yep.
so tonight we beat a team that we should have won, which is nice.
Yeah.
St. Louis we've lost to in the past. Hopefully we can
A
sort of
week ago. Yeah.
hopefully we can take that, remember that, and really look for revenge.
Yeah.
And get the momentum
You have to
going.
win that for Berube. Gotta win that one
And
for
that's
Chiefs.
another reason, of course. But yeah, so
Money on the board for Chiefs.
yeah, we just can't keep this up and down, this random roller coaster that we ride. So I'm really hoping we win Saturday. Don't so much care about Sunday. Care extremely much about Tuesday. But I think that just hurts us emotionally to care about the Boston game because we know we're going to lose. But it'd be nice to win
probably
it.
because we think we know they're going to lose, they will win. To what we're talking about, like whenever you expect them to win, they lose. When you expect them to lose, they win.
Very weakened Seattle defense, Daniel. Very much weakened.
I mean, if you look at the standings right now, so you've got Florida at 15 points, and then Tampa at 14, and then we're there at 13. Like, yeah, I mean, I'm happy with where we're at. Like 2 games over 500. You obviously
I'm
can
not
say
that
that.
happy. We should have won some games. No,
Well, I mean,
I'm not going to take that. No.
I mean, I'd like to have more points. I'd like to have more wins for sure. But
We're 6-4. It's not great. We're
Not
just over
bad.
500. It's fine.
no, sure. But I mean, like, you've had some tough games. You played Tampa, Boston, the Rangers. It's not like the
Rangers.
schedule has
Yeah,
been
fine.
easy.
It's
Like,
not been. We played Columbus, lost. We
Right.
played Boston anyway.
Yeah, no,
There are
I agree
teams
that
that
there
are-
are points that we coughed up that we obviously should have taken. But I mean, my point was more not about the like, yeah, we should be planning the parade because we have 13 points. But I mean, if you look at the Eastern Conference, you've got, 4 teams, sorry, because Carolina won today, that have more points than us. And one of those teams has played 2 more games, that being New Jersey. So, like, it's not like we're falling behind anyone. Like,
No.
we're
But, like,
right there
Let's
where you
not
want to be.
benchmark ourselves against mediocre. Let's try to be like
For
the
sure
team we
not,
can
no.
and should be. And I think
Yeah,
you're falling
the
into
bar's
this like
higher.
yeah.
No, I'm not falling into the trap. I'm not lowering my
are.
bar. I'm not lowering my
game,
bar.
When we were
No.
5-4, everyone was like, "Oh, like this is the end of us." Now we're 6-4.
Yeah.
You're like, "Woo woo."
No, I'm not. I'm not kind of like victory lapping here. I'm just saying we're in a
Okay,
good spot.
good.
We're in a good
No.
spot.
Yeah, keep it real, level-headed, and cool.
Always, Caroline. You know how I roll. I mean, I'm not saying if we lose both games on the weekend, it's still okay. Like they have to keep playing well. They got to turn this 2-game mini win streak into 3. I'm just saying, point in time, more because of what the other teams are not doing. I'm not hating where we are. That's kind of more where I'm at. Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like so gridlocked in the East, so gridlocked in the Atlantic. Really good, strong teams.
Parity,
we're going to see a lot of parity.
Yeah.
And
parity is a real thing in the NHL. It's not easy to win hockey games. So
true.
In the NHL, you're not often going to just, go on a run where you win 5 games in a row. You're going to grind of the schedule, back-to-backs, injuries. So, you kind of have to stay afloat. It's, until we wake up tomorrow. It is still October. So you're trying to like stack some wins where you can. Yeah. We've obviously been able to do that more than some of the other teams in our division and conference. So you kind of take that, I feel. Yeah.
Suck it, Boston. Anyway.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Keep them down there.
Keep it. Yeah, honestly.
Yeah.
They're going to explode in March to come out like challenging for second in the Atlantic. So
100%. Yeah. I was just talking about how, it's the NHL. Teams don't usually win like 4 or 5 in a row. For sure, the Bruins are going to win like 18 in a row at some point. And then just come back and we're going to play them in round 1. Yep. Already written. It's already written. Script is out.
We need first in the Atlantic so that we have the power. I honestly would throw games if Boston were 3rd in the Atlantic. If Boston were first wild card, I would throw games.
Yeah, I think that would be the only reasonable strategy at that point.
I'd rather play Tampa or Florida, whoever's there.
Yep. Well,
whoever's
Florida,
3rd or 2nd. I don't know. I don't know. Rather Florida than Boston, probably. But we can talk about that in a few months.
I get it. Yeah. We don't have to worry about that now.
I think Florida is coming to town sometime this fall. I think. Well, we played them 4 times.
Yeah. I'm sure there's a November date with Florida. Either we're playing them here or we're going there. So we will see how we stack up at that point. Yeah,
definitely. Yeah.
All right, Caroline. Well, appreciate it. Good chat. Good win tonight. Nice little Halloween night win. So the vibes are good in Leafland. And we'll stay tuned to see what the team news, player news looks like heading into the weekend games. But should be fun.
Yep. All right. Good night. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Happy Halloween.
Thank you, everyone. We will talk soon. Have a good one.
Bye.
Go Canada. Put on a suit, drink water. Don't drink and drive. Hey, man, call your mother.
It means nothing. It means nothing.
Nah, they lying to you. It's about the money.
Now you're more fluent.